Hello, welcome to Epic World Builder. My name is Mike Hewitt, and first of all, we are in the epicworldbuilder.com, and I kind of want to something I want to come out real quick. We did an episode on economies, and that did really, really well. So what that makes me think is we're going to finish up this Crypts of the Lost Oracle, building out this dungeon, and I think I want to talk I'm going to do a bunch of episodes more on how to build worlds and how to work with those kinds of things, like balancing magic systems, and rather than getting into the nitty-gritty of building dungeons and going through and all that. This has been a really good little bitty section, but I think I want to go more down that direction. So if you want to wait a little bit more, I think we're going to finish this up in 2 episodes, maybe 3. Hopefully we'll get through these as quick as possible. Not that this is not fun and everything else, but if you are really interested in that part of the systems, because we did an episode on economies and stuff like that. But if you're interested more in that kind of world building, we're going to finish this up world building, do that, and maybe come back. I don't know. If you want, come to epicworldbuilder.com, and if you see this help tab at the top, you can go there and you can leave feedback. And I read all that feedback, so if there's something you want, if you like something more like epic world building stuff like economies and magic systems and how to create NPCs, how to create interesting stories along those lines. If you're interested in that, or if you're interested in what we've been doing, like building out dungeons. So anyways, before we get started in the Lost Oracle, I want to go ahead and do our city shoutouts. I hope I am saying this correctly. Xenia, Ohio is a place really close to, I have some relatives that live in Ohio. And then the other one I'd like to point out is Salt Lake City, Utah. I think I haven't pointed them out. No, I think it was another city in Utah. But we have a bunch of people in Salt Lake City and a bunch of people in Xenia, Ohio. Thank you all. If you want your shout out, just listen to the podcast and we'll get you there. So back to where we were. Going through this, we have a few things down here. But going here and coming in here, we worked in this dungeon. We did these 3 rooms last night, and give me 1 second. This is G, and in G I had messed this up, so I'm actually going to hold on 1 second. I'm going on another monitor. Let's go ahead and fix this. I went ahead and redid this room, so let's save that. And now for here, our Miraro is here. I'm actually going to, this is a good way of doing it. I'm going to go in here, edit this pin. As you can tell, it's way, way off because I took a different picture, and it's just different. So it's here, and let's connect it to there. We have that mirror underneath there. And I think we changed this to yellow. And I don't think it was only visible to the GM. And save. There we go. And that will take us to the mirror. Okay. Sorry, I wanted to fix that real quick. That was G. And so now we have this room right here is... real quick, I want to grab this Lost Oracle Room G. Let's go ahead and edit that. That is G. No, that is H. Gotcha. And let's go ahead and save that. And when we come here, we have just a single room with, it's like a jail cell, kind of bed jail cell prison. So I'm going to go here and let's say, describe me a dungeon room that only has one entrance on the east side. There is really nothing in the room except I spelled that completely wrong, except for one prison style bed that is hanging only by 2 chains. Okay, before we go in there, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate my Epic World Builder, and we are going to go into generators, and I'm going to go down here to Dungeon Room. Let's see what we got. Let's Dungeon Room. Generate. As your party adventures slowly descend the worn-out stone staircase, some of this doesn't matter. I mean, it's just grabbing it. The flickering light from the torches bounce off the mosque. The air grows colder. Smell of decay. You know what? Let's don't do that room. Let's look at traps. Yeah, let's look at traps. Going through here, as you touch the ancient statue, a wave of psychic energy assaults your mind. A statue of a siren emits, and that's not what we want. Let's see what else we got. Attempting to distract a gem from a statue's eye socket causes the entire room. A harmless puddle turns into a dangerous a harmless puddle turns into a dangerous vortex when crossed. That's very interesting. There's not much in this room. I kind of want something in this room, but I don't know. Oh, sorry, I dropped my phone. A series of vibrant anemones. Bed of oil. Man, there's not really anything here. Let's just leave this as a single just room with nothing in it. That's it. Okay. Not every room has to have something crazy in it. The dungeon room, you find yourself in, exudes an aura of desolation and neglect. Its dark stone walls bearing the scars of time and despair. The room is dimly lit with the only source of light seeping through the small barred windows near. Okay, well that's not correct. Okay, I'm gonna grab this. Sorry, I feel like I'm a little lost in this here. Let me. I like this, except for there isn't a barred window near the ceiling. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. The bed, devoid of any comfort, hangs... what is that word? Hold on. Let's find... I'm going to... gloomily. Let's change that to gloomily. From... gloomily from the ceiling by 2 thick rusty chains from the wall by 2 thick rusty chains that groan under the weight of its with every stir of the stale air. The bed itself is a merely slab of wood, equipped with a thin, tattered mattress. That the bed itself is a mere slab of wood. It sways slightly, a ghostly pendulum in the oppressive silence of the room. The eastern wall, which houses the room's only entrance, is heavy, reinforced wooden door. Its surface marred with scratches and stains, telling tales of those who once occupied the grim abode. The door's formidable appearance suggests that it is designed to keep secrets within as much as... I'm going to get rid of that. I mean, that last, I don't think it matters. And I think that's it. We've got a room. Not much in that room. I think some of these, that one and the one underneath it. You know what? Let's put a trap in that other room. There is nothing there. Okay, what do we got? It's seemingly harmless school of fish. Nope. A large... Nope. Oh, I'm in underwater city. Hold up, dungeon. Okay. The massive stone slab drops from the ceiling, cutting off the party's retreat. A pendulum blade, a stone, not only that, a cryptic inscription on the wall curses the reader with confusion when read out loud. Okay, I like that. I like that. A cryptic inscription on the wall curses the reader with confusion when read aloud. Okay. Okay, we're gonna come back to here. We're just gonna redo this. Describe me a dungeon room that's only entrances from the east side, which matches it because it's right underneath it. There's really nothing in the room except for an inscription on the wall in Elvish. What's the inscription? Give me a... Let's duplicate this. Sure. Just don't care. Give me a random inscription on a TTRPG dungeon wall. In the shadows deep where whispers... In the shadows deep where whispers dwell, the truth lies not in what they tell. Seek ye the light where the silence reigns, and only there freedom remains. In the shadows, give me another that doesn't really mean anything, but does curse the reader. By this script, your fate is twined, with shadows cast and light declined. Each word a step on path untold, your days numbered, your heart grown cold. May fortunes flee and luck eschew, for curses now through and through. Okay, I'm going to we'll go back here. The inscription reads that, and curses anyone that reads it out loud. The curse causes the player to be mute for an hour. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, I like that a lot. So we have this room here. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I think it's room HI. And let's link that to I. Okay, we've linked that. Now I'm going to go to it. Let's go and edit, and this should be done. I'm going to grab all this, put it in here. Okay. Okay, hold on. I don't know what I did there. Okay. You find yourself in a stark, dimly lit dungeon room. Its ambiance thick with the weight of silence. The only entrance, a heavy stone door, lies to the east. Its frame ensconced in shadows that seem to flicker with a life of its own. The walls, cold and unyielding, are bare, save for the inscription that catches your eye. Carved into the stone with meticulous precision, the script flows elegantly, a dance of intricate elvish characters that gleam faintly in the dim light. The inscription reads, blah, blah, blah. We already done that. A palpable sense of foreboding and in an unfortunate turn of fate. This goes down here in the GM stuff. Okay, let's save that. That room is done. I really like that room. That one's a cool one. This one is just, it's a kitchen. Let me go ahead and go here. Add one here. This is room J, right? Yes. Hold on. Yeah, that's room J. Let's go ahead and link that to room J. And this is the kitchen. I've been trying to think what to do with this room for a while. Okay. So, real quick. I'm gonna move this one. Okay, so here, let me just, there we go, grab this. That's a good starting point. There's only 1 inch on the west side. This room looks to serve as a kitchen with barrels, with empty barrels, everywhere. It does have a stove with something cooking on it. As crazy something. I'm trying to say is there. I want a knoll there. There is a Knoll cooking at the stove. This is the if you hadn't seen it yourself, you would never have believed it. I like the idea of you coming in. Normally you see gnolls that are just these dog people and they're, fighting you and all kinds of stuff. You would never have guessed if you came into a kitchen there's one cooking there. That's the kind of aspect I want to give. I like this a lot. It's spitting out 4 paragraphs. Okay. As you step cautiously into the dungeon room, the dim-lit reveals an expected sight, a kitchen of all things nestled within the stone confines of the underground labyrinth. The room has a single entrance on the west side, through which you've just entered, and it's filled with the remnants of what once might have been a bustling area of culinary activity. Empty barrels are scattered haphazardly around the room. Their contents, long since used, are spoiled, and various utensils and pots lay abandoned, coated with dust and neglect. The centerpiece of this odd kitchen is an old rusty stove, which against all odds, has a pot simmering atop it. The aroma that filled the air is strangely inviting, a stark contrast to the damp, moldy scent that pervades the rest of the dungeon. What truly captures your attention, however, is the cook, a gnoll hunched over the stove, diligently stirring whatever concoction simmered in the pot. The creature's presence... Okay, that's my kid. They have these... My kids now have these... Sorry, I'm going to stop. The kids have, what do you call it? Virtual realities. And so there's speakers in their ears, so I don't know. They just... I tell them I'm doing a podcast, but they don't listen. Anyways... Enola is hunched over the stove, diligently stirring whatever concoction simmered in the pot. The creature's presence is out of place in the setting that they have to blink twice to make sure you're not seeing things. Gnolls, typically known for their ferocity and disdain for their finer points of civilization, are the last creatures you expect to find performing such a domestic task. Yet here stands one, apron-clad, completely engrossed in the cooking, a spoon in one hand and a spice in the other. The scene is so bizarre and incredulous with the gnoll's savage nature that you find yourself momentarily forgetting the dangers that lurk nearby. If you haven't seen it with your own eyes, you would never have believed that the creature more at home on the battlefield than in the kitchen would exhibit such a culinary focus. The dungeon, it seems, a full surprise, and this cooking gnoll is a vivid reminder that appearances can be deceiving, and even the most unlikely individuals can possess hidden talents and facets beyond the stereotypes. I don't know if I want to hide this. I'm going to leave all of that. I didn't know if I want them to be able to read that between the gnolls, but I think we're fine. Let's go back here. We have time. I think I'm going to finish this little room down here. That leaves these last 4 rooms, or 5 rooms, And I'm going to have, I think next week, we're going to have an extra long episode and finish this out with a bang. We've got some really big rooms. We have this room here. This one's okay. This one's not very much. It's just getting you to here. This is going to be a big room with a boss fight, and this might be a big room with a boss fight. We got 4 statues, one of them crushed, and then a throne. I think let's make an extra long episode, and then we'll finish this dungeon out with a bang. So last one we have right here. This one is room J. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put this right here. Hold up. That is room K. And let's go ahead and link this to room K. And let's go ahead and go to that room and edit it. Okay, here's another blank room. I really didn't put anything in this, and we need to think of something. Or maybe just leave it blank, but we've already left a couple of blank ones. What do we got here? Here's some of the trap in the generator, trap generator. A mosaic on the floor shifts, turning into a swarm of venomous insects. A false treasure chest opens to unleash a powerful spectral enemy. A well-worn prayer mat levitates and traps anyone standing on it. A force sphere when the sacred words inscribed on the wall are spoken aloud. Touching a statue turns a person into stone. There's no statues in here. Spinning the wheel on the wall releases a deluge of water. A deluge. A chilling wraith emerges from the tomb. Okay. An urn that releases a deadly wraith when open. Okay, let's do that. Let's go up to here. I like this. Okay. A wraith? I don't know. What is... Duplicate this. What do we... I'm going to go to public campaigns. We got monsters here. What's a good monster? A Hydra? Oh, Hydra. No. A goblin. A ghost. Where's that? That's before all. A ghost? Yeah. Okay. My furnace just shuts off. That kind of masked the sound of children in the background. Okay, let's do a ghost inside of an urn. I like that. Well, there you go. It's turning back on. Where? There we go. Okay, describing me a dungeon has, an entrance. Those are all, I like that. Okay. On the east side, there is really nothing in the room except for an urn in the center of the room. If opened, it releases a ghost that can be reasoned with. Let's do that. If spoken to in Dwarven. is spitting this stuff out now. Okay, hold up. It is really 5 paragraphs. Give me a second. There we go. Inside of K. For some reason, it is spinning it down here. I need to check that out. It only seems to be doing it in this when I'm recording. I don't know why. You enter a sparse, echoing chamber within the depths of the dungeon. Its air thick with the mustiness of undisturbed centuries. The only entrance in the stone archway to the east, through which the faint, eerie glow of your torchlight spills, casting long shadows across the bare walls. The room is remarkably empty, devoid of the usual detritus and decorations that mark such ancient places. No tapestry adorns the wall, no scattered remnants, blah, blah, blah. The only feature of note is an urn standing solely in the very heart of the chamber. This urn is unlike any common vessel. It is intricately crafted, adorned with carvings that seem to dance and twist in the flickering torchlight. Symbols and patterns edged into the surface suggest a craftsmanship of extraordinary skill, likely dwarven in origin, hinting at a story or purpose far beyond the mundane. This needs to be brought down here. We do not want them to know what happens if they open it. So we're going to put that in the GM content. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of this, and this. Okay. Third paragraph is down here in the GM content. Should the urn be opened, an event most extraordinary occurs. From the confines, a ghost is released. The specter, however, does not immediately lash out in anger or sorrow, as many of its kinds are wont to do. Instead, it hovers in silence, an ethereal presence waiting and watching. Its form is barely held together, a shimmering vestige that speaks of ancient times and long forgotten memories. The ghost, it turns out, can be reached with, but only if addressed in Dwarven. When spoken to in this ancient tongue, the spirit engages, its voice echoing from the depths of time. It speaks of its past life and unfinished business, or perhaps, and it offers cryptic advice or warnings to those who would listen. This ability to communicate, to potentially aid or hinder those it encounters, adds a layer of depth to the encounter, transforming what could have been a mere obstacle or a threat into an opportunity or interaction and understanding. The presence of such a being bound to an urn in the center of the otherwise empty room suggests a story steeped in the rich lore of the dungeon's creation. The ghost's own history and the entwining fates that led to its current state. It's a reminder that even in the darkest depths, where the silent and solitude remains, connections to the past and opportunity of the dialogue lingers, waiting for the brave or wise enough to uncover. Man, that's quite a mouthful, but there we go. We have an urn in the middle of their room. Okay, so that should bring us to that. We will finish this whole dungeon up next week. And then let me know what you're interested in. If you want to come to epicworldbuilder.com, go to help, leave some feedback, and just say, hey, we would really like to talk about this in the podcast or this. I think there's some things out there. Building a magic system from scratch. I know that's something I'd like to talk about. I have some people I'd like to bring on the podcast and talk about some things. Building NPCs, building a story hooks, all of that. So that will be coming up soon. I really like this dungeon. It's a cool, just a little quick starter dungeon that you can kind of bring and put anywhere you want. I really like that. And thank you guys for the cities. We'll be shouting out 2 new cities every episode. We have a lot of them to shout out, so that's going to be nice, and it's a constantly growing list. But I want to thank all of you guys. It's so amazing. I love this community. People that play, TTRPG games. It has been amazing, and I want to thank you guys so much. Just for, I hope you guys love Epic World Builder and are building in it. I see people building in it, and just makes me excited that I can give a little bit back to this community. And seeing what people build is amazing. And once again, if you are building some, and we have a lot of campaigns, if you want to make them public, that would be awesome to share with everybody. But thank you guys, and always keep building.